Hello everyone and welcome back to Meeple Leaf Reviews. My name is Jeffrey.
And I am Jacob.
And today we're doing another before and after where we take a look at Onitama, before and after our first play to give you our expectations and then first impressions.
Yeah.
So, you picked up this game. What pulled you in?
Well, I've always enjoyed chess. Before I really got heavy into gaming, I used to play a lot of chess, and this seems like I wouldn't say a lighter version of chess, but a more tactical for a simplistic gamer, maybe. Right. It's much easier. All the pieces are going to have the same moves, and there's only going to be 5 possible moves in the game. It might come across not so daunting to some players.
Yeah. I appreciate chess as a game, but it's not one that I play regularly or at all.
Right.
So I'm going into this one kind of meh.
Okay.
You know, I'm thinking that all the different possibilities that I'm just might not see a move and then accidentally give the win to my opponent and just be like, oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm going in a little bit hesitant to this one.
Right. I think I'm going to enjoy it just because I have a bit of a background in chess. My wife is always asking me to play chess, and I'm just like, I don't know, because I don't find it overly exciting.
Right.
Onitama, when I saw that, I was just like, ooh, this is very chess similar, but it has lots of different strategies that I think I could really enjoy in here. Lots of replayability because all the moves are going to constantly be switching out each game. So yeah, I think I'm going to like it. It's not going to blow me out of the water, but I'm going to have a good time, and it's probably a game that I think will get to the table quite often with my wife.
All right, well, let's try it out and see if our expectations were correct.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit.
Hello everyone and welcome back. We just finished our first play of Onitama. 26 minutes of pure silence.
Yeah. And I was very much controlled the entire game.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was frustrating.
So let's go right into art and components for the game.
Art and components I really like. The plastic figures are very basic. They're not high detail.
But they are plastic figures.
And I think it fits for what this is. So I like those. You get the, neoprene mat that rolls out to construct your board. This is a tight little package right here for the box that folds up with a magnet clip.
Yeah, the box is really cool.
And the cards are nice and chunky. They're probably about that big, so easy to read. Got some flavor text in there too. Yeah. Components I really liked. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I think they're good components. Nothing to complain about, and a few things to rave about. Especially the box. Yeah. Like just you click it open and just hearing the magnetic click. I like that. In boxes.
Sure.
What did you think about rules and teaching?
Game is super simple.
Yeah.
Super simple. I explained it to you in probably 30 to 45 seconds.
Yeah, about that.
And I was taking it slow. Yeah. Make sure you got it.
I'm a little slow sometimes at picking it up.
So, yeah, I mean, rules and teaching.
Yeah, you could teach it to anybody very easily.
Yeah.
I think the only thing is just realizing that the orientation of the cards is different. So just getting your head around the fact that their cards move their pieces differently than they would move yours in some instances.
In the opposite direction. So if you have one that moves, for me, if it moves my character straight or to the left, once Jeff gets it, it's his left, not my left, and my right. So you have to think about that when you pass a card over, that they're moving in the opposite direction that you moved in.
Yeah.
So that could be a little hard to wrap your head around.
But once you get it, I mean, it's just a very minor thing.
One thing in the rule book that they didn't really boldly clarify was they always have the example images as your character is standing kind of in the center of the mat,
right,
and showing the direction. of where they can move, but you have to realize that you don't need to be standing in that position on the board. It's just wherever you are on the board, those are the places you can move to.
Right.
And so it didn't boldly state that. You just kind of had to, okay, yeah, this is how it works.
Right. What do you think about the theme? Dueling
martial arts schools, effectively. You got the master and your apprentices.
If they were underwater and wearing lead weights with how slow they came in, I take one step forward.
Yeah, but it's you're like judging distance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we got to move in slowly. I don't want to like leave myself open, so it's very tactical. You're sitting back, you're going, okay, I need to move here. What are the consequences of doing that? Yeah. So it's very thoughtful. But no, I don't really get the... I should say I kind of get the theme a little bit because they have... Each of the cards has a name. So like this is the crab. And he can reach out to each side with his claws a little bit further than some of the other ones. So the shapes and the techniques kind of match a martial arts to a degree. So I kind of got the feel, but it's not heavy.
Yeah, and I wasn't playing and being like, oh yeah, I'm going to somersault kick you over here. No. Doing that. No, it's not like that at all.
No.
So then going into the gameplay.
Yeah. Gameplay was very strategic.
Yeah.
Very thinky. Yeah, very thinky. You got to sit back and you go, okay, this is what I want to do, and how can he counter that with what he has? It seems very basic, but once you add in some of those, the specialty moves that can move you a little bit farther than just like one square in front of a character, you can misjudge because of the fact, again, as we mentioned earlier, that the directions are reversed. My moving 2 to the left is... him moving 2 to my right.
Yeah.
So if I don't anticipate that, that's how he got my first guy, because I didn't see it coming. And he took my first guy, and from that point, I was on the back step.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got me twice with the frog.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was constantly on the back step there going, okay, now I'm just kind of pushing myself back, and I can't attack. I felt like I couldn't do anything from that point.
I feel this is a game more about positioning than it is about taking opponents' pieces.
Yeah.
It's very much about controlling the actions that your opponent can take, because if you force them into they need to take this action to get their master out of the way, then they aren't advancing their own board state, and then you can really start snowballing and trying to control. And then even if someone tries to do a controlling move on you, if you try and flip that around on them, it's very much about control, that tug of war back and forth of who has the best board position right now.
Yeah, it's very chess-like, just posturing.
Yeah.
One thing I found out, I moved my master out fairly early, and I think that was like a critical mistake because he's like the king in chess, and if you take him, you lose.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey was able to kind of move into positions where my king was threatened. And so it forced me to have to move my king out of the way, out of that position. So then I was constantly losing an action every turn because he was forcing me to do something I didn't want to do.
Yeah, so going on to my first impressions, I liked this game a lot more than I thought I would.
Okay.
I felt because there's only 5 possible actions, I wasn't too overwhelmed, and I was able to take my time and really think about, okay, what is the possible moves he can take, what can I do, and then start thinking a couple, like even during my first game, I was starting to think a couple moves ahead. Right. Well, if I take this, well, that's going to give me this card, and then he'll have these 2 cards, so that'll limit where he can go. So even after the first play, I was starting to get a little bit deeper into strategizing with the game.
I was not. I found it was a lot harder than I thought it would be to look a couple turns ahead, because I was kind of assuming that I would be able to see that a lot easier than in a chess game. But the fact that every piece can do all those actions, every piece has like 2 multiple actions that they can choose between, whereas versus chess, every pawn or every unit can only move a very specific way. So you know exactly what it's going to do. Whereas you have this guy over here, and he could do any one of your 2 abilities.
Yeah, and I might have been safe in this position this turn, but when you get another card, then all of a sudden my piece might be in danger.
Exactly. Whereas in a chess game, you would see that coming by looking a couple turns ahead. So I found it a lot more difficult than I anticipated it would be.
Right. Yeah, but overall, I think it was a fun game. I don't think I would want to play it all the time.
Right.
But, for 25 minutes of, some heavy thought trying to trying to control your opponent, it was fun.
Yeah. I enjoyed it as well. I think it's gonna see a lot of action at my table with me and my wife.
All right.
So I'm looking forward to playing it some more.
And maybe I'll play it some more with you and kick your butt.
Yeah, I'll need to practice and get some training, get schooled by my wife, and then I'll come back once I've learned, and I'll beat you then.
All right. Well, that's Onitama. If that sounded interesting to you, check it out. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us out here on the channel.
Yep. And follow us on Twitter at MeepleLeaf. And go down to the section down below where we have our board game links. And give us some hearts so more people can find our content and enjoy this as much as you do.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Take care.